Well, hello, Mindy. Welcome to WG Content's Unscripted. It's so nice to have you.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited for our conversation.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. So, Mindy Grantham is just joined the Target Continuum team. She's the director of oncology marketing, has a really cool background. Has done a lot of really neat things, both internationally and nonprofit, yoga background. It seems like you've done some really cool things, but more recently was at Mayo Clinic, and that's actually how we met a few years ago. So, it's been fun to see you in the path that you've been on over the last couple of years. Before we hit record, you were telling me a little bit about your latest travel experience because I've seen some of it on LinkedIn. Like I've seen some volcanoes, and I think you and I were emailing each other, and you're like, "Well, I'm going to be out of the country for a while." So, where have you been? What do you do? Because your travel experience is amazing. So, give us the highlights.
Perfect. Yes, just come back from Nicaragua.
Yeah.
It was my last country to do in Central America, and I've been calling it my volcano tour because at least one volcano was done probably every single day outside of like my travel days in
Okay.
between. But there was a volcano that you go up at night in order to see lava. There
Okay.
was an active volcano that you get to the top of, and then you what they call board down. So it's sort of like sled. So you sled down this black,
Yeah.
sand
Yeah.
volcano, and one where we went up in the middle of the night so that we could watch the sunrise, and then you can see other volcanoes out in the distance. Um, there
That's
was another where there's this crater lake that is heated, so from the geothermal activity.
mhm.
And so it's not quite bathwater warm, but it's not cold either. And it's just surrounded by sort of this jungle landscape. And so those were probably some of the highlights of the volcanoes that I did,
I was
but
gonna say for a
literally
person like myself who's never even seen a volcano, it's like so what you're describing is like they all can be very different from one another. I mean, like look different, feel different, the experiences are different. I would never know that.
they are all
Yeah.
drastically different. Um, and in a country like Nicaragua, where um, they don't they don't have the same types of laws that we do,
Okay. Yeah.
and so you can just walk right up to a crater of an active volcano.
Wild.
You're just standing there looking down in this crater, and yeah, but
That's
they're all different heights, and because some of them are active versus others that
yeah.
are dormant. And so, the active one that had erupted recently has sort of that black sand
Yeah.
or rocks, and then others are, vegetation covered. And so some are super short, like living in
Yeah.
Guatemala, I was used to like taller, bigger volcanoes. And so,
Wow.
yeah, all
Well,
different
you've had
size.
a really cool travel. So you were sharing with me that you've been to what, more than 30 countries, like 32? So if
Correct.
anyone is looking for travel advice, I think Mindy's your gal. You've got lots of really cool stories and have been to a lot of neat places. So,
Yes. And
all
I'm
right.
always looking to link with others because
Yes.
bucket lists, right? Tell me where
Those are
you've been.
like big adventurous trips. Places
Yes.
that people, like would love to go to, but probably like don't put it at the top of their priorities, but when they're ready, they can reach out to you to help plan it. All
Yes.
right, here we go. So we've got a couple of questions. You've seen them all, but we're going to pick them out and you don't know what I'm asking you, but are you ready?
I'm
I
ready.
feel like some of these I've learned about you already now with your travel responses, but let's see what else we can learn. What did you want to be when you were 10 years old? A teacher?
Um, oh no, this one is weird.
I love
Because
weird.
my best friend and I love, and now I'm going to show my age as well. Back when we were kids, there was a show called BJ and the Bear, and
Okay.
it was about a truck driver that had a monkey,
Oh,
and that's what I wanted to be.
you wanted to be the truck driver or the monkey?
I wanted to be the truck driver
I,
with a monkey.
with a monkey, of course. Who would
Yes.
not want to be the truck driver with a monkey? That sounds, I don't know that show. BJ and the Bear?
Yes.
Okay, I'll have to look that one up.
Yes.
What's one lesson that your family taught you, whether they meant to or not?
Um, I think that for this one, it is that we will be there for each other kind of no matter
Mm-hmm.
what.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, mom has been diagnosed with pretty bad dementia.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister and brother and I have had to really come together over the last few years. And so it has created this family dynamic that I
Mm-hmm.
think that we've probably never experienced, right? Like as kids, you grow up fighting
Yeah.
each other, and always
Yeah.
ribbing each other, and now all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, like we actually have to have each other's
Yeah,
backs.
when you go through those aging, when you those experiences with aging parents and how it does bring the siblings together in new and different ways, and how some of those relationships just take on a whole new meaning and shape, and it's really neat to see that. How many you have two siblings?
Yeah, my
Okay.
sister, older sister, and younger brother.
And you're in Colorado. Are they near you, or are they geographically, are you guys all kind of all over?
So thankfully, because I've moved around the country a lot and of course outside of the country, so when I chose to live in Colorado Springs, my brother, sister-in-law, and niece were over in Phoenix, and I
Okay.
convinced them to
Oh,
move over here. And then with mom's dementia, we moved her into a home here as
near you.
well.
Okay.
My sister's in Minneapolis, but
Okay.
she comes down frequently, thankfully,
Yeah.
for visits. But
Yeah.
I love having family nearby.
Oh, it's so important. So important. All right, let's ask the next one here. What if we asked your closest people what lights you up, what would they say? I feel like we've kind of covered that a little bit,
Oh yeah,
but
it's
would it be any,
international travel.
yeah,
Yeah.
international travel. Okay, so then let's keep talking about that real quick because we talked about the volcanoes in Nicaragua and you living in Guatemala. But like when you think about the 32 countries, what was your favorite? Anything like right? I'm sure they're all very different, but would you have a way of answering that?
I love being able to have personal experiences or opportunities to see like how
Yeah.
people live.
Mm-hmm.
So living in Guatemala, and I still like I would have considered myself still a tourist, but there was this opportunity to do um, a celebration for All Saints Day,
Okay.
and they don't celebrate Dia de los Muertos. It's the following day for
Okay.
Day All Saints Day,
Okay.
and they celebrate it by flying kites and
Oh,
these
really
kite
cool.
festivals where they create these kites that are can be like
Mm-hmm.
7 stories
Mm-hmm.
high.
Yeah.
And there's just it's an amazing culture. And then I had done this tour kind of where you also then get to stay with a family. And
Um,
what they do is they make the favorite foods of their
okay.
loved ones,
Mm.
and then you go to the cemetery and you eat
Mm-hmm.
in the cemetery with their loved ones. You fly kites, and it's just
Oh,
this
what a
amazing
neat
experience.
experience. So it's really more about like immersing yourself in like the traditions and cultures and getting as close as possible to the actual, place versus like the touristy things. And that
Yes,
probably takes time, on some of those trips. You can't just do that in 5 days. You really have to know where you're going and what you're doing. And so it
yes,
sounds like some of your trips you've really rooted, right? You've kind of stayed there for a while so you can do that.
I have. And
Yeah.
it's not to say like I haven't done things like the Eiffel Tower
Sure, of
or
course.
Big
Well,
Ben, of course.
32 countries you have. Yeah.
Yes, so I do, right. I'll still do some of the touristy
Yeah.
things, but
Yeah.
the lasting memories for me
Yeah,
are
sure.
those
Families
where
and
I've
yeah.
actually been in somebody's home
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
traveling with them, or, it's just
Yeah.
those are the things that I remember.
So where's next? Do you have anything
Uh,
planned?
I don't, but the one at the top of my list is Antarctica.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard others say that. Why that one for you? I mean, is that the well, is there like different climates that are strikingly different, like at different seasons or different times of the year?
So that one you can only do at certain
Okay,
like
maybe
a
that's
travel season,
right. Okay.
which is like right now.
Yeah.
Um, and for me, it's the starkness, it's the nature, it's
Hmm.
the experience though as well. So like um, I would like to do the Drake Passage,
Hmm.
and they say that you either get the Drake Shake or you get the Drake Lake. sometimes there's, sort of in between, but like the Drake Shake is
Yeah.
literally waves of like
Yeah.
30 feet high, and you're just like everybody is taking motion sickness pills and just right. And so
Yeah.
you that, or
Yeah.
it's just a super smooth experience. And so
That's what I
um
think. That's just wild. And I think you and I were talking about Carolina Anthony from Advent Health. You'll have to go listen to her Unscripted because her next on her list is Antarctica as well.
I
Yeah,
have
and I
never.
feel like she kind of described it that way, where she was like, "There's just this sort of like, you said a striking difference, or I can't remember exactly how she described it, but it was something like that, where it's like this really just, I don't know, kind of striking experience that you don't know exactly what you're getting into, but can just be incredible." All
Yes,
right, well, you guys will have to go do that together.
I'm looking her up after this.
Yeah, exactly. All right, last one. If you could instantly master one skill outside of your career, what would it be?
Languages, which probably
How
doesn't
many
come
do you
as a
speak
surprise.
now?
I only speak English and Spanish. And
Okay.
Spanish I learned by moving to Guatemala. I didn't speak it when
Yeah.
I went down there. Um, and, living in Guatemala, though, the vast majority of my friends are all polyglots.
Okay.
And I went over to Sicily this past summer to visit friends. And my friend, so we're sitting at this table where there is some Germans, some Italians,
Yeah.
me, and then she's Guatemalan. And so she's just easily slipping
Hmm.
between English and Spanish, Italian and German, and like fluently, like she's
Yeah.
not missing a beat. And I'm like, man, the minute that I start speaking Spanish, I swear I forget my English.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it amazes me. I would
That
love to
is,
speak languages.
yeah. So, during these unscripted conversations over the last several months, one of the questions that has come up sometimes is, would you rather speak every language or speak to animals? And it's been funny because everyone so far that has had that question has picked speak to animals. And I'm like, I think it's just because there's just like, they're around us all the time, right? And so maybe it just feels a little bit more accessible and interesting. But really, truly, if you were given the option of like, do you want to speak every language or speak to animals? We might all pick speak every language.
I would in a heartbeat because
Yeah,
what I saw like living in Guatemala or even in my most recent
yeah,
trip to Nicaragua is that um, the having the ability to converse in their language
sure. Yeah.
really opens people up, and then you
Hmm.
end up with a different
Yeah,
experience.
yeah.
And I even think back to the experience that I'd had in Guatemala with All Saints Day, where I spoke enough Spanish at that point that I could understand more of the
Hmm.
conversation than some other people that were with us.
Yeah.
And when I would listen to what the translator would translate back to us, and I'm like,
Hmm.
oh, there's so much in that
Hmm.
is left out as they translate. And
Yeah.
so experiences are so different.
Hmm.
I feel like I got way more out of that than
Sure.
people that didn't
Yeah.
speak any. And so I would like I
Yeah.
have pets, right? So yes, I'd
Yeah.
love to be able to converse and
Yeah.
understand what it is.
Yeah.
But I would, yeah,
Yeah.
traveling, I would use languages.
Especially for you that you travel so often. All right. So we have some just fun this or that questions or real quick rapid fire questions. So if you watch, like, if do you binge any shows and what are you watching right now? Are you watching?
Stranger Things.
Oh, it was so good. I watched that too.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm bummed that there were only 4 episodes.
I know. Well, they're coming out with a whole nother next installment and then it's done, which I think they have to be done. I mean, these kids are like young adults now, so but it's so good. Did you know that there's a play in New York City that about Stranger Things and it's all about Vecna's childhood? And so it's yeah, and so I someone again through these unscripted conversations was telling me about it. She's like, "I'm going to go to New York now and I'm going to go see this Broadway show and it's about Vecna's background and how he came to be number one."
So
Yeah.
it's sort of like Wicked, but for
Maybe you're
Stranger.
right. That's true. Good point. Yeah. Okay, so you have your AirPods in. Are you listening to a podcast? Are you listening to music? Or are you listening to a book?
Podcast.
Do you have a favorite podcast?
I yes.
You kind of rotate through several.
I rotate through several, but mainly. one about, I don't know if you know about the sort of the FIRE movement, financial independence, retire
Oh,
early.
no,
So yeah,
fire
so
movement. I'm writing it down.
yes. So I am all about any sort of FIRE podcasts. There are a
Yeah.
number of them. And
Okay.
so I listen to a lot of those. And then I listen to a lot in terms of like healthy aging, especially,
Hmm.
like for women. So,
Yeah, I got you. All right. You're a big traveler. Window seat or aisle?
oh, window seat.
Oh, okay, good. Would you consider yourself an introvert, an extrovert, or an ambivert?
I'm an introvert.
Okay. Last one. In the spirit of the holidays, how are your gift wrapping skills on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being you are a master. And I'll admit I am like a 2. So,
I would put, well, okay, so I'm a one or a two. I'm
yeah.
horrible about it.
Yeah.
And so I actually try not to have to do it. So I'll put them in bags
Yeah.
or I'll do anything other than wrapping.
Do you
And
ever
it,
like see like so then other people in the family show up with their gifts and they're like beautiful. And then you're like, I gotta open this. And like, why do you go through all the trouble? Like, I
and
don't,
that's, yes.
yeah, I'm
I
like, I
know
really
what
don't
you're
do that for me. You don't need to do that for me. I don't need to have it beautifully wrapped. All right,
yes.
last question is what's bringing you joy these days? We talked about your travel and your family. Anything else that's bringing you joy these days?
I would say that it is, so I think that one of the things that age brings
Hmm.
is some clarity
Hmm.
or this ability finally to say, like, I want to be able to cultivate my life
Hmm.
with what I want and with
Hmm.
intention.
Hmm.
And so I'm finally less focused on that end goal.
Hmm.
Everything was about okay, I've reached this. Now, what is my next goal? What is my
Hmm.
next milestone? And now I really want to savor that journey. And I want to make sure that I'm with people that I
Hmm.
really want to be with. And so it's saying no to those things that I
Yeah.
don't want to be.
Yeah.
And then really cultivating a life that I
Yeah.
enjoy
Yeah.
and want to be in. And so I'm now like, you know what? I don't want to wish time away.
Yeah.
Um, I want to savor.
Well, I love that and appreciate that and admire that. And I feel like it is something that comes with age. And I think when you said it's about saying no, I think that takes a lot of practice too. And it's, you've reached a point in your life where you're like, okay, I've done that enough. And it's really not that scary. And the implications and consequences are not that terrible. And so really living your life with intention that way is a beautiful thing. So, well, I appreciate you spending these, I guess, 15, 20 minutes with me. And it was so fun getting to know you a little bit better. And welcome to your new role at Target Continuum. I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more of each other.